1 hour we have for the first.
In 1 hour we can probably start. I think it's valid. So let's do our second talk, which I always like to bring about whenever I talk about diabetic retinopathy, is the cousin, if you want, the distant cousin of diabetic retinopathy that has somewhat similar pathophysiology philosophy, and I already believe that the physicians that thought of the cryo for ROP and the DRS study must have had the same maybe dinner or dinner party that where they discussed this, because it's funny. You'll see how strangely nice they intertwine these both are. Just to start with, again, it's a disease very dear to me. It was first recognized in 1942 in Boston by an ophthalmologist called Dr. Terry, who has just wrote that he has noticed that, he has noticed that a lot of babies that are born prematurely in those big hospitals in Boston were referred to him and had a retrolender membrane. And he thought maybe it is the embryonic hyaloid system, because they're premature, it somehow did not regress. Instead of regressing, it proliferated. And soon enough, other good ophthalmologists of that time reported similar cases, Chandler and Barov. And unfortunately, those were, of course, stage 5 ROP, or late stage of the disease. Now, some thought maybe it's just the sheath of the lens, and that's why the whole idea was that it's probably a lenticular problem or an embryonic remnant. But with the advances in medicine, about 10,000 cases of ROP were identified in the late 40s. Now, of course, I always tell you that retina started with this fantastic machine, or the indirect ophthalmoscope by Dr. Scapins, by the late Dr. Scapins in 1951. And I think with this instrument, now you could examine small babies with an indirect ophthalmoscope, and you were able to identify ROP at an earlier stage. And with this, it was 2 ophthalmologists that were brothers that found that the hyaloid system is normal. It's not like what was Terry presuming. It's in fact normal, and somehow later this binding fibrovascular membrane comes. And not only that, they were able to determine that it was from the retina that it came. It wasn't a retrolental problem. It wasn't a hyaloid artery that's remaining. It is actually from the retina. So while it was initially named retrolental fibrillation, and we do have still some old age users that call it this way, it is by far more important to call it a retinopathy of prematurity, and I always like to correct anyone who still calls it retrolental fibrillation, because it is a retinopathy and it is in prematures. Now, what about the epidemiology of such a disease? Well, unfortunately, as you probably, if you do deal with ROP babies, you realize that it's very, very difficult to measure early childhood blindness. Babies can't complain, mothers cannot notice it, and the pediatricians cannot detect it for sure. It's relatively stage 5, But if you look at the high bracket and the medium income bracket countries, and you look at the childhood blindness causes, you see that only 5 to 8% in the affluent countries causes of blindness are from ROP. While if you go look at the medium bracket countries, it goes up to 45%. So that's why I believe it's very, very important in our countries, where you do have the know-how, you do have the NICUs, you do have the fantastic pediatricians, to have these small babies survive and make it. But you don't have the coordinators, you don't have the nurse education practitioners, you don't have the good networking between us, ophthalmologists, and pediatricians. You don't have NICUs that are equipped with ophthalmology exam rooms and telemedicine even. So much that this becomes, unfortunately, goes up to 45%. So with a little effort, I think really ROP can be much, much less than mucosal blindness. Now, what is the story of oxygen and ROP? I don't know if you guys deal with it, but pediatricians are obsessed with the oxygen. And it was first confirmed by animal studies by Ashton and Potts. I don't know if you guys worked in any lab, but the model for ROP is extremely easy. The mice model for ROP, you just have newborn mice, just give them, because the mice have their retina developed slightly less than us at birth. So you just give them a lot of oxygen, it goes up like ROP very, very fast. This was also confirmed by Patz, Arnie Patz, the late Arnie Patz in Baltimore, who did it on monkeys. Now, because of such reports, of course, there was less use of oxygen nurseries, and this led to a sharp decrease in incidence of ROP at the expense of increase in infant mortality and morbidity from lung disease and cerebral diseases. So oxygen had to be reinstated as part of the management. So this would put infants at risk for developing ROP again. Now, with the current advances in neonatology, more premature infants are surviving and ROP is on the rise again. The reason why I put this slide is I don't like to do these quizzes for you guys, but sometimes I've seen it once where an ophthalmologist would put for you they order a timeline, and there's a 1960s sudden dip in ROP that goes up again. It tells you, do you know why? And this should be your answer, that because of reports that's oxygen. There was a trend into trying to wean off the oxygen as soon as possible and saying, oh, khalas, we'll deal with it that way. And surely enough, it was found that it wasn't, it was detrimental for the baby, so that's why it got reinstated somehow. So I don't think it's important, but if you get that question now, you get the answer. Now, it was hoped that current advances in PaO2 would have you have a happy medium or a formula or some kind of a threshold, a number, a magic number. Unfortunately, this is yet to be accomplished. However, the only, I think, pediatrician help that we got was the introduction of the surfactant therapy. This is of beneficial to us, especially in severe overweight infants. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing less, let's say, rush disease than before. What is the cascade of events? I'm sure you guys are aware of it. Basically, prematurity means the lungs do not function properly, then oxygen has to be given, which lead to a state of hyperoxia, capillary damage in the retina, state of ischemia, and angiogenesis. Now, of course, I really like to keep this in mind, that often you have the lungs mature and the oxygen is stopped and the pediatricians are all relaxed and happy and khalas, we're done. Just, they want you to see and make it as a routine or as a courtesy or something, and you see that the ischemia is worse. Why is that? Well, I think probably we think the retina is in a state of relative ischemia, and therefore it was used to a certain level of oxygen that's now less. It might be what is defined as normal for the pediatricians, but for the retina per se, it's not, and angiogenesis will continue, especially after a certain level of ROP. Khalas, no matter what they do, ROP is going to continue. So I want you to be very aggressive with these babies, and don't rely on the fact that oxygen is stopped or other systemic factors are better. Okay, so this is important to keep in mind. And oxygen is an important layer, but it's not the only cause and risk factor of this disease. I don't care what the pediatricians tell you, they count the liters of oxygen, the days of oxygen, whether it's on nasal cannula or intubated or what have you. Let me tell you, we know better. The other factors also play a role. In fact, and I'm going to talk about all these factors. Oxygen is important, but you know what? There hasn't been any causal relationship. Yet, there's yet to have a formula, there's yet to have a threshold, a magic number that tells you, you know, nothing. In fact, RP has been found in cyanotic congenital RP. So if anything, little oxygen is delivered to the retina. And maybe these babies have taken coming oxygen because of their cyanosis. So it's not something to really consider. In fact, we have reports of RP developed in infants who have never had any oxygenation. So it's important, don't get me wrong, fine, consider it, but it's not the only play. The most important play, and really, if you want to know one thing from this lecture, is this. The most important thing, as soon as you see a baby with ROP or to be evaluated for ROP, just ask for the birth weight. The birth weight is for you a magic number, okay? The less the birth weight, I tell you, the more the possibility of ROP. I've spoken to this so many times to so many people. We're a good circle of retina specialists take care of ROP, and this is what we all agree on, whether in India or here or in the US, it is very important. Birth weight correlates with how premature is the baby, and of course how premature is the retina. Now, certain times this does not correlate with the age of the baby, like IUGR, but even in these times, let me tell you, birth weight is the more important predictor. So please remember, rely on birth weight, birth weight, birth weight. Complications of pregnancy, especially ones that result in fetal hypoxia, maternal hypertension, maternal diabetes, preeclampsia, and bleeding. Those things are not necessarily in the mind of pediatricians that consult you, so please take a look at those. Intraventricular hemorrhage, especially if accompanied by shock, acidosis, and hypoxia, which may result in hyperperfusion. Now, vitamin E is an important story, but unfortunately, it was a disappointing story because we had a trial trying to see if vitamin E supplementation decreases the risk. Because preterm neonates were found to have low plasma level of vitamin E. And vitamin E is a known antioxidant that prevents endothelial damage. So we tried it in mice with the ROP model. Unfortunately, doses that somewhat can do an effect are hepatotoxic, so we can't do this. So there hasn't been evidence that supplementation does reduce the damage, unfortunately. Light exposure, and I will talk about the ROP study, sepsis with direct toxic effect. Transfusion, well, because you have an adult hemoglobin, which improves oxygenation, again, these were relative hyperoxic inside. Genetics were not a gene for ROP, but for the mutation for Norris disease been identified as well. And with this mutation identified, it was tested in severe ROP babies, and it's found in many of these. Now, what is pathogenesis? Of course, like all vascular retinopathies, you have two stages. The initial stage, which is particular to each retinopathy, we saw in diabetes, how it is. In here, we will talk about it. And the second stage is common to all, which will lead to neovascularization. Basically, once the retina is ischemic for a while, it starts secreting angelic factors. Vascular growth factor is one, but I don't want you to stop at this. Okay? Come in. This is something I've always noticed in candidates. They always tell me vascular growth factor and stop. No, you have many, many, many other factors. Hepatocyte growth factor, platelet-derived growth factor, and you have some factors that are protective, that decrease in this stage. Things like pigment epithelial-derived growth factor, PEDF. So, in order to understand the first stage and the second stage in ROP, I think the concept of vasculogenesis and angiogenesis ought to be revised. What is vasculogenesis? Vasculogenesis is a normal vessel formation in utero, embryo, as an embryo. So it starts at 12 to 18 weeks of gestation. It goes from the disc outwards, all the way to the nasal and the temporal periphery. And I would like to go to this drawing to show you what I mean. This is a nice drawing of the back of the eye, where you see the disc and the vessels budding out. Now the same thing is happening here, of course, but it's not drawn. You have numbers of months during which your vessels breach, at 4 months they start to cut out on the disc. This is the baby's left eye, nasal periphery, temporal periphery. 5 months they heal. At 8 months gestation, they have completed your nasal. You have completed your nasal retina vascularization. At 1 month of life, you have completed your temporal retina vascularization. Now, suppose a baby is born at 27 weeks of gestation. You only have vessels up to there, up to that circle. The rest of the retina is totally avascularized. So what happens next? Well, as you know, probably, a baby born at 27 weeks of gestation is in the NICU and is undergoing, that might have many problems. So it depends on the risk factors, it depends on the milieu that's happening. Suppose you have a baby that's just a product of a very, very, very tiny mom, and he's a big baby, so he was delivered a little early with no medical problems whatsoever, received oxygen for a short while and was weaned off and was fine. This baby would probably have vasculogenesis in his womb. But suppose you have a baby of a type 1 diabetes mother who's an IV drug abuser, who's developed a chorioamnionitis that had an emergency delivery at 27 weeks, and the baby had meconium aspiration, which led to, pneumonia that led to intubation for a long period of time, and surely enough, intraventricular hemorrhage developed. Okay, so you have all those risk factors that I'm citing one after one. This baby will probably have so many insults to the retina, back and forth, and up, down, left and right and center, so much that you would get angiogenesis probably developed rather than vasculogenesis resumed. So what I'm trying to say is, giving you the extreme case scenarios, is baby born at 27 weeks of gestation is at the crossroad. Either vasculogenesis will resume or angiogenesis will start. What will give you the clue that angiogenesis started or the vasculogenesis resuming is what we're going to see in 2 slides from now. First of all, we follow what we call the International Classification of ROP for this. It was published in 1984, revised in 1986, and recently re-revised one more time. The term retroretinal fibrillation is no longer used, as I said, and now with this very nice classification, which I think is fantastic and unique for diseases, comparison between centers became possible. The first sign that angiogenesis is starting rather than vasculogenesis resuming is what you see here as a stage 1 ROP. Basically, the recognition that there is a sharp line separating vascular retina from avascular retina. Okay, this is a stage 1 ROP. Now, autopsy studies from these enucleated eyes have demonstrated that this line, in fact, is the start of new vessels. Okay, so although they're tiny, but you have very similar changes that happen in diabetes, early neovessels budding out. Very, very similar. The loss of pericytes, the basal membrane changes. And this goes on in stage 2 to be a ridge in the demarcation after the demarcation line. So a slight elevation, which again later on becomes a ridge with extraretinal fibrosing proliferation, which again later on becomes a macula on detachment in stage 4A, leading to stage 4B macula off detachment. And if you go on, becomes a stage 5 ROP or complete retinal detachment, initially in an open and later on, as you see in this picture, a closed funnel RT. And this is what was initially coined retrolental fibrillation. Basically, it's the stage 5 closed funnel RD with a complete push towards the lens detachment. These detachments always go towards the lens and are very, very aggressive, very difficult to treat. Now, of course, the recognition of plus disease, you guys are aware of this, the tortuosity and the erosion of the vessels. Now, I love this classification because it has not just the grading, but also they thought, well, it's important to put more to this because babies can complain, mothers cannot notice it. Very few ophthalmologists can figure it out. the location is important, not just where we are in terms of retina changes, but where is this changes happening in the retina? So they developed the zone 1, which is a circle centered at the disc, twice the distance between the disc and the fovea. Zone 2, centered at the disc, with the disc and the nasal periphery, and the temporal crescent left was the zone 3. Zone 1 is by far the most critical zone, followed by zone 2 and zone 3 being the least critical. This was also complemented by the extent in that zone, so the number of clock hours that where the disease is involved. Well, the segments of each circle were devised, and this was what you call the number of clock hours. So now, with this international classification, threshold disease was coined. What is threshold disease? 5 or more continuous clock hours of 3 plus in zone 2, or 8 separate continuous clock hours of 3 plus in zone 2. Pre-threshold is defined of any stage in zone 1, stage 2 plus in zone 2, 3 or 3 plus in zone 3, not meeting the clock hours of threshold disease. What is rush disease? Rush disease is basically reports of infants developing ROP at a very strange, rapid, earlier than expected problem. Usually it's in very low birth weight infants, and these progress to retinal detachment at very fast rates. It's very important to treat and recognize these patients and be very aggressive with them. Now, ROP affects, of course, immature vessels. The greater the immaturity, the more the severity. And as I said, usually it is with very low birth weight infants. So it develops first, one should examine, of course, the temporal periphery first. And if the temporal periphery is fine, one should be okay. But if you find that the temporal periphery is avascular, don't think that the disease has not yet developed, because sometimes in very low birth weight, the disease can start in the nasal retina. So it's not just fine to screen for temporal periphery and say, okay, it's avascular up until here, so it's fine. No. Also, it's important, especially in very low birth weight infants, even if you have up to zone 2, say, in the temporal periphery, check for the nasal retina. You might have the start of disease there, not just an avascular zone. 1 and 2 usually undergo complete regression. And if you've reached threshold disease, you have a very strong chance of developing bad retinal detachment. Now, also of note is the problem that you have in regressed ROP. They develop complications, even if they've had good laser, if they had, completely gone ROP. First of all, they have relatively elevated levels of myopia. I don't keep seeing patients many years after treatment, but also muscle defects. Strabismus ranges from 22 to 40, especially in patients who have laser taken in the lung. We don't know why, but it does happen. Glaucoma, acute angle closure, but also primary open angle. And other findings, especially that this retina is premature. So you have unexplained poor visual acuity, you have peripheral retinal breaks, and some lenticular and corneal changes. So while we do respect and like the cryo for ROP, and it is successful in most patients, we like to follow it as much as we can, but that's why we're looking for other treatment options. But really, the cryo for ROP gave a good success in patients with severe disease and patients with potential to severe disease. How do we examine? Usually, the initial registration is best in nursery. We need a specular that's clean, and what I used to do is the Cartier spot in the US. Here we don't, in this part of the world, I just use a mosquito depressor that is sterile. But I'd like to share with you some information that will give us more insight as to when to examine these patients. Now we know where, the NICU, we know how, but when should be the ideal first exam? When? For one thing, this is a graph that I really like, because it tells you no matter how premature the baby is, the disease is not developed. The disease is not going to develop before 5 to 7 weeks of life. The other two observations that I'm sure you're familiar with, advanced stages of disease are confined to insults with birth weight is less than a year and a half, whose gestation age is less than 30 weeks. Once vascularization has entered zone 3 or after 36 weeks gestation age, if you haven't reached zone 3, you're unlikely to reach it. Okay? So with this in mind, usually the initial examination should be at 5 to 6 weeks after birth. Usually we like to see only race born at 28 weeks or less. Usually we like to see only race weighing less than a kilo and a half at birth. However, if you have a neonate that was weighing more than a kilo and a half with a very unstable clinical course, we would like to see him as well, or her. And depending on what you find, you would determine the follow-up. If you have an initial evaluation that reveals vascularization up to zone 3, then honestly, I don't follow them up again. You don't need to. You might develop some disease that like a mild, demarcation line, even a tiny ridge, that's not a big deal. It's nothing's going to happen. While if you have immature vessels only up to zone 2, then you should see them every 2 to 4 weeks interval until they proceed into zone 3. If you have mild ROP, that is either stage 1, or you just have immature vessels up to zone 1, then you really have to see them every 2 weeks, even, I would say, even less than that. If you can do it every 2 weeks or on a weekly basis, that would be great. Now, if you have pre-threshold ROP, you really have to see it on a weekly basis. But honestly, in our countries, do the treatment. It's better. The mother is already overwhelmed with, sometimes multiple births. Sometimes, this baby has other issues because he or she are premature. So they have, they can't deal with it. So they might come too late, later than a week. And from pre-threshold to threshold to detachment sometimes is hours. So please, if you feel that the baby cannot come on a weekly basis, do the treatment. I've done my homework and I've compared this to places like India, places like Saudi Arabia. We do that. It's much better because you get better results. Same as as I was saying now with diabetes. Just to say, as I said, those are distant cousins. Just do the treatment, you're much, much better off, and the results are better. And you don't need as bad laser, by the way. The only reason why they don't do it because a good number of them regresses by themselves. But honestly, I don't want to take that chance and have threshold disease come to me and then detachment. Threshold disease, if you find it, you really have to treat within 72 hours. And if the baby is not T for general, just do it under local, just do one eye and then do the next eye some other time, but you really have to. And then once you have treated them, you have to see them 2 weeks after, whether it's cryo or laser. And if regression does not occur, you have to retreat, you must have had some skip areas, or you must add somehow. Usually, regression should occur. If it doesn't, there might be a role for anti-VEGF, there might be a role for surgery. Honestly, it's been reported. You know how we do the treatment. You have to treat the entire avascular problem. You have to treat the entire avascular area. Cryotherapy or laser therapy, this should say. As I said, it can be done on it's published on the JANC and most protocols, but honestly, you can do it on the local. I've done it on the local many times. You do transcript type treatment to treat the entire vascular area, and you have to put continuous marks on continuous marks. Now, why do I say it's not as good as I'd like it to be? If you look at the 10-year follow-up, around 50% have an unfavorable outcome. 62% of untreated eyes as opposed to 47%. Fine, it's better than not treating, but scanning. Even the treated eyes, a third of them went blind. So, although it is saving a good number of eyes from blindness, some of them are still turning blind. And only 13% are 20/40 or better. So this is to tell you that it is good, especially at the cryo days. Now the laser days is a bit better. I think now we're getting the results of 20 years after laser, and it's a bit better than the cryo days. Now the argon laser was first reported, but nowadays the diode is much, much better in ROP. So if you have a diode, that's better because it is portable and it can be done under even topical anesthesia. It crosses the articular opacities, it crosses blood, So it's good to use daily. Buckling, of course, can be prophylactic if you have just a